Manchester City 5, Everton nil, and that is how you end your season in style. An absolutely dominant display from the boys in blue, and I couldn't ask for anything more on the final day. And I hope Chelsea are watching that. I hope you're watching that because that is a preview of what you're gonna get next Saturday, God willing. And honestly, it was I couldn't ask for anything more. I really couldn't ask for anything more. Kevin De Bruyne opened the scoring in the 11th minute, I think it was. Riyad Mahrez linked up with Jesus, got it back, linked up with Foden, got it back, sprayed it out to the left hand side with De Bruyne, who cut in on his right foot and smashed it into that bottom right hand side. Probably one of our goals of the season in terms of team goals quality wise. That was an absolutely mesmeric goal. Moving on to the second goal, I think Gabriel Jesus scored this one. The Everton defender tried to play with it too much, tried to drive into midfield. Fernandinho absolutely clattered into him, got the ball, gave it to De Bruyne. Sterling gave it back to De Bruyne, and he released Gabriel Jesus. He sprinted down the left hand side, cut inside onto his right foot, and boom, cut inside onto his right foot, smashes it in the bottom right hand side, and it's 2-0. And then I think Everton had a penalty. Zinchenko moving very wild, passing it back. Diaz was absolutely done for pace. I can't even complain about that. He was absolutely done for pace. He's not really the fastest defender. However good he is, he's not really the fastest defender in the world. So it was done for pace, took him out. Honestly, I'm going to hold my hands up here. Should have been a red card. I don't know how that wasn't a red card. I don't know. But we've been shafted by Brighton. I'm not forgetting that performance. I'm not forgetting the referee performance against Brighton. So I'm taking that every day of the week. It ended up being a yellow. I think Sigurdsson stepped up to take the penalty. Edison saves it for the first time in 3 years. Edison saves a penalty. Finally, I wasn't expecting him to save the penalty. He went to, I think he dived to his left hand side and he got a firm hand to it. Boom, out. Then I think at half time it was 2-0. I think the first half was just a dominant display. We controlled the game, nice tempo, nice intensity. Everton were just giving us all the space in the world. It was just the most unserious Everton performance I've seen in a long time. I think going into the second half, we just didn't stop. We just came out all guns blazing. Foden ended up scoring with a wonderful footwork from Gabriel Jesus. Wonderful footwork from him. Just to slide in Foden, and Foden... he dragged it onto his right foot and dragged it back into that bottom left corner. That's 4-0 straight away. No, that's 3-0, sorry. And then, in the 60th minute, the man, the legend, Mr. Manchester City, the man who won us our first ever Premier League, Sergio Kun Aguero, steps onto the pitch. And people were saying, oh, he's only going to score when he gets a penalty. Nah. Sergio still got it. He showed why he is the best striker in Premier League history. He showed why he is one of the best strikers to play the game. Top 20 best strikers to play the game at the least. He came on 71st minute. I've forgotten who played the pass into him, but he got the pass and he duppied one of their defenders. And he duppied one of them, went round the other, and then a little toe poke outside the foot. And it went into the bottom right hand side, I think it was, and that's 3-0. And I think everyone went wild because that is what Sergio Aguero is about. He's about those little dribbles inside the box. He's about getting beyond the last man. And that is Sergio Aguero in a nutshell. And then another typical Sergio Aguero move, the header in the 76th minute to make it 5. A brilliant header from him. Seeming that he's only 5'8", he's not a tall lad. And he's up against these massive 6'4" mammoth defenders. And he absolutely bossed them in the air, 5-0. And I really couldn't ask for anything more from Sergio. It was an absolutely dominant display. Going on to the team, we had Edison in goal. Very solid performance from him. Very solid performance. I think definitely one of our most underrated players. The way he has improved his shot stopping, especially throughout this season, has been amazing to see. I saved us multiple times this season, especially against teams like PSG. Saved us multiple times. Dortmund against today with the penalty. Very, very good display, and his distribution. His distribution is something else, man. It's better than some midfielders. Kyle Walker, he was fine. Didn't really do too much, and to be honest, as a defender, that's not exactly a bad thing. So he was quiet, did his job, and I think he just cemented his place along with Edison in the Champions League final. John Stones and Ruben Dias, I think they were both good. I think Dias was a little bit shaky in the first half. Did get done for pace, I think, twice in that first half, which, well, he's probably, I don't know. He's not the fastest defender in the world, to be honest with you. That's why we have Stones there to cover, because Stones is the faster defender. And Stones was dominant today, I think. Stones was really good. He was winning his headers. He was driving into midfield. He was good on the ball. He was dominant on the tackle. I think it was just the typical John Stones performance that we've come to know this season. Zinchenko, again, like Kyle Walker, both the fullbacks were fine. Didn't really do too much. I think he put a nice ball into the box in the first half, but obviously it was cleared away by Ben Godfrey, so I'm not really too fussed about that. He was fine. Kevin De Bruyne, I've got to have man of the match for me. I think very close with him and Sergio Aguero, but I think for me, as much as I love Aguero, my favourite City player ever, I do think Kevin De Bruyne was just dominant from start to finish. I think he had 5 out of 5 completed dribbles. He had 1 assist and 1 goal within 15 minutes of the game. Like, when he plays in midfield and not centre forward, he is just a demon of a player. He is one. I said it many times. He is a top 3 player in the world. I think, in terms of players, only Robert Lewandowski and Lionel Messi can be compared to the great that is Kevin De Bruyne, and he is one of the best midfielders in the world. He's one of the best midfielders to ever play in the Premier League, and he's only 29. He's still got a long time left on his contract. I think he'll go until he's about 35. But he was just mesmeric, typical Kevin De Bruyne. Fernandinho was just Fernandinho, dominant, the midfield general in midfield. I think he was breaking up play. He was being the cynical, snidey guy that he is. Like, nothing can get past El Capitan Fernandinho, and he's just a legend. And I think he's the only one of the old guard left now. And he's 36. He's 36 and he's still got it. He's 36 and he's still got it, which I have to give it to him, because most people's legs are gone at 36. Phil Foden, a bit quieter today, but what you can't keep quiet is his dribbling. His dribbling is just out of this world, mesmeric dribbling. He reminds me of Iniesta. He moves like Iniesta. He has he drops his shoulder like he's Messi. He has the direct runs like he's Leroy Sané. He strikes the ball like he's Sergio Aguero. He's just learning from all of the players around him, like David Silva, Leroy Sané, Kevin De Bruyne, Sergio Aguero to an extent as well. He's learning from all of these players around him, and I do think in the future he will be England's best player. Riyad Mahrez was a bit quiet today. He was fine. I think he's probably saving all his juice for the Champions League final, because, hashtag Riyad Mahrez is a big game player. He sent us to that Champions League, and I think he's saving all his juice for that Champions League final. Gabriel Jesus was really good today. I think when he was moved into those wider areas, I thought he was really effective. His footwork was amazing. His vision, his passing was really good today. And that's the Gabriel Jesus I want to see. That was Palmeiras Gabriel Jesus. That was the Gabriel Jesus who was raised playing football in the favelas. The footwork of a true Brazilian. And that's the Gabriel Jesus I think we've missed in the last few days. Then we go on to Raheem Sterling, which was one of his better performances today. I've got to give it to him. His finishing was still pretty awful. But that's Raheem Sterling, isn't it? His finishing's never been the best. His finishing is just... It's never been good. His finishing's never been good. But I do think he was really good today. He was aggressive. He was direct. He got an assist for, I think it was the 3rd goal. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, it was the 3rd goal. He got the assist for the 3rd goal. And I do think it was one of his better performances today. I don't think it warrants a start in the Champions League final, to be honest with you. I don't think it warrants a start there. But I think he was fine. I go on to substitutes. Rodri was fine. I think he was fine, to be honest. No complaints about that. Torres, not really much to say either. Didn't really do much. Don't blame him. And then Sergio Aguero, Super Sergio, and the things that he's done for this club. The things that he's done for this club. He has made Manchester City fans dream. He has given us the success that we never thought we would have, and we are all in debt to Sergio Aguero. He's one of the best to ever play the game, and we need to win this Champions League for him. If we don't gonna do it for the fans, which you should be doing it for the fans, if you're not gonna do it for the fans, you should be doing it for Sergio Aguero, because he is the epitome of a great striker, one of the best to ever play the game, and I don't know what I'd do without him. One of my favourite City players of all time. And it was really nice to see Pep in his press conference crying at the end, talking about Sergio Aguero. He feels what we feel about Sergio Aguero. He literally summarised how we feel about Sergio Aguero. And do you know why that makes me so happy? Because this is his home. Manchester is Guardiola's home. It is Sergio Aguero's home. And we are so lucky to have these two greats at this club. And we're at the top. We're at the very top of European football. Who knew that little City, from the lows of relegation, from the lows of from playing Gillingham in the League Two playoffs in 1999. I think it was League Championship. I'm not sure which one, but it was Gillingham 1999 playoffs. Paul Dickov scoring in injury time to send us to the Premier League, I think it was. And now we win. Now, who would have thought that only in the space of 21 years, Manchester City would have their 5th Premier League title and be in our first ever Champions League final? It really is the stuff of dreams. It feels so good to be City right now. I wouldn't swap this club, or the players, or the manager, or the stadium, or the fans, or anything, the backroom staff, the cleaner who cleans the floor in the kitchen. I wouldn't swap any of them for any other team, for any other thing in the world. And now this is the performance that we needed to go into our next game. This is the performance we needed to take on Chelsea in the Champions League final, because they lost today. They lost today, and they were this close for going out of the top 4 if it wasn't for Leicester bottling it. So I hope Chelsea are watching our performance, and I hope they watch their performance, and I hope Manchester City, we use the pain of Chelsea beating us twice, and we use that and we go and absolutely batter these man in the Champions League final, because that is what I want more than anything in the world, is to see Sergio Aguero, John Stones, Ruben Dias, Ederson, Kevin De Bruyne lifting our first ever Champions League final. But anyways, it's been your boy Ryan here. Let's just win this Champions League final. I'm not even going to give a prediction in my preview because I didn't give a prediction today, and look what happened. We won. So let's just go out there. Let's get this win. Come on, City. Peace.